No problem. So what we're gonna do then, we're gonna do a stop sharing here, and we have this beautiful face here coming on, so everybody can see Mikael here, getting ready for Mikael Arndt. Welcome, Mikael.
Thank you, and thank you for having me here. I mean, it's an honor, and I've been listening now for almost an hour here, and it's exciting. It's really exciting. I mean, you're having a tremendous company here. So, my name is Mikael Arndt, and I've been in sales the last 40 years. It's all I worked with, and I just love sales. I mean, sales is magic. Sales can give you everything, and the best of everything is that almost nobody practice or study sales. It's the best job. You can earn how much money as possible, and you can make your dreams come true, but still people don't practice or study sales. I mean, if you want to be a successful writer, well, write a sales book. I mean, I had 8 books out of 10 on the top 10 list. And when I went to school, I I mean, I got good grades on one test, and when I wrote an essay, and that was the time when I borrowed my, at the time, girlfriend's, and just copy it. I had really bad grades in school, but sales is forgiving, and I stumbled into sales when I was 18, my first job, and I've been there since. I had my own companies for about 30 years. I built some, I sold some. At the most, I had about 300 salespeople in 5 countries at the same time. And when we started out, we were just 2. So we started small and worked hard. And what I'm going to talk about today is, what does the stars do? The great Titan people that you're talking about, the one that sells the most, because it's no secret. The problem is that people are there. It's a curse, really. It's the law of familiarity. People have heard so much about selling, how you what you're supposed to do. So they say, well, I've heard that, but they don't do it. So I had a lot of salespeople, and I trained them, I educated them, I hired them, and from the beginning, when I grew up in the poorest part in Sweden. And Sweden is divided up into 291 parts, and I lived in the poorest one. My dad died really early, and it was tough and bad grades in school. I studied hard. I was ambitious, and I studied hard. I just wasn't that smart. So I got bad grades in school. My dad died. Everything was not really, really good. And sales have given me everything. I mean, I have written about 15 books. I had the best company in Sweden when it comes to sales for about 15 years. And I sold a couple of ones. I sold the last one in February this year. And I just love sales, because when you're good at sales, you can choose the company to work for. You can start your own business. You can be the best one when it comes to being in Crowd1. It's just about study, 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 and people don't do it. So when I had about 100 salespeople, this is the thing. I'm going to give you some tips on what the best people do to stay the best year after year after year, because you actually never have to have a dip and sell less and have a bad time if you do what you need to do. And the thing is that you need to do the work, and you need to understand what sales really is. And this is an everyday job. Even if you're going to work a couple of hours a week, you need to study every day. People might not like to hear that, but Harvard Business School, I mean, it's the most prestigious university in the world who studies sales. They say in their research, if you read for about 30 minutes per day, you will double your sales within 6 months. And they claim if you read about sales for an hour a day, you will triple your sales within a year. And I'm a completely training product. I mean, I had no talent. I was so afraid of talking in front of people when I was in school. I mean, I cried for hours. I remember when I had talked 2 minutes, 2 minutes when I was 10 years old, and I cried for like 3 hours. I didn't want to go to school. And my dad made me to it, and it was horrible. And it's my first trauma. And still, I'm talking all over the world. I mean, I'm all over from Moscow down to South Africa to New York, and I'm talking about it all the time. And it's no secret, but people still don't study. And I realized the more I trained my people, the more I made them read and everything, the more they sold. So that was no problem. But when I was about 26, 27 years old, I had about 100 people, 100 salespeople. And I couldn't really understand why some of them sold so much. I had the best company. We were the best sales company in Sweden by far. But still, my worst people and my best people, the difference was enormous. The best ones sold about 7, 8 times more at the same time. They came to the office at about the same time, but the best ones, they delivered so much. And I couldn't understand why. I mean, I'm not stupid, but I gave them the same training, they get the same information, and I still couldn't understand why they sold so much. And this was before internet. I'm old. This was before internet. So I bought all the tests that you could have. You know, they have the disk analysis, they have Thomas test, they have the 360s. I bought them all. And I took my best people and I took my worst people. And my worst people, they were still the best in Sweden. So they weren't really, really bad, but they were a lot worse than my best ones. And I made them do the tests. I didn't say that you're the worst ones, you need to be tested so I can avoid you in the future. But actually, it was my thought. I wanted to be able to find the really stars, and I couldn't understand why they were stars. So the thing at the time, there was this research out in Sweden, and it's the same all over the world. It's about 2-3% of the population has set goals. As Mr. Rakesh said here, you need to have a plan, you need to have a goal, but actually there's only 2-3% of the population that set goals. I'm sure you all, as you're in this company and everything, that you are goal oriented, but out there in the real world, people don't set goals. And the thing is, this research came at the same time when I got my answer from all the tests. And at the same time, there was this TV show out on TV, an American one, where they interviewed the 7 biggest business leaders in the world. It was Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Carlos from Mexico, the Toyota boss, and they asked them, why are you so special? I mean, you have hundreds of thousands of people working for you. Why are you the leaders? And all 7 of them said, well, it's my goals. It's my goals. It's my goals. And so it just hit me. I mean, my research, because the only difference between my stars, how they made so much money, and my worst ones, the only difference was that the best ones had chosen to be the best ones. They were so goal orientated. So, I mean, the first thing the best ones does is they choose how great they want to be. When they walk into the room and they see this, when you have your live events and there's so much people and they see the stars, they just say, well, that's my place. Nothing else is an option. And that's how they believe. I had the best podcast actually in Europe when it comes to entrepreneurs for 4 years. I had billionaires coming in every week. And we interview them and we have this claim, it's like Shark Tank, that's on a podcast. And when you meet business leaders as good every week, you can see a pattern. And the pattern that he had was the biggest business leaders, like really, really, really rich ones. And the thing was that they think big. They go big from the beginning. They say, well, they start out, they might have like 1-2 employees and say, well, we're going to take the world. And when you have big goals, you make different choices. You make other decisions than if you say, well, I'm going to sell one and then I might find somebody else in a month or 2. Because if you're going after world, you need to do different things. So you make other choices, but it starts with a goal. And since there's only 2-3% of the population, wherever you are, because I've been doing this in over 25 countries, and wherever I go, people increase their sales. It's no rocket science. Everybody knows what to do, but they don't do it. So that's what I'm going to tell you how to do it. And the first thing, because when I realized that the best salespeople, and that's the same as business leaders, business owners, that the best ones 100% are goal orientated. You don't find somebody who's really, really successful who doesn't have it as a goal, because it won't happen. It's too much work. It's too many books to read. It's too many seminars to attend. You don't just wake up one morning and then there's like 15 books about selling and motivation and marketing and everything on your bed table, because you need to go out and buy them. And you don't do it if you don't have a goal to be one of the best ones. So the thing is, when I realized this, I trained all my people. I trained them in how to set goals. Because wherever you go, people say, well, you should be goal orientated. You should make everything. But they never tell you how. How do you know that you have the correct goals? You don't want to wake up in my age realizing you had the worst goals in life, and now you're realizing that and there's no time left. You need to figure it out straight away. And the thing is, and this is the one thing to remember for this night, if you don't remember anything else, this is the thing. If you can take a pen and write down, as Mr. Ake said, if you can write down your goals, if you can get it from your head down on a paper, it's 20 times, listen now, 20 times likelier that you will reach your goal. Just if you can get it from and put it on the paper. I have the titanium, I have so many people below me in both my legs and everything, but you need to see it first. You need to set the goal. I'm going to have 2,000 people in each leg. Well, if you don't set a goal, it will never happen. Everything that you will reach, everything that you will get starts with a picture in your head. The thing is, 20 times, that's the upside. It used to be 10 times. When I found this, I paid my kids when they became like 12, 13. I got 3 kids. My daughters, I paid them cash once a year to write down their goals. I never watched what they wrote, but I wanted kids that were goal-oriented. And I have the most goal-oriented kids that I can have. And the thing is, when you do this, and 20 times to date, it was 10 times at that time. So even less people now set goals. So it's even worth more today. And listen now, if you can find somebody that you like, love, respect, that holds you accountable, that says, have you read a book? Have you attended a seminar? Have you done that? And you don't want to make that person disappointed, your chance of reaching your goals increases with about 400%. Now it's 80 times more likely that you will get what you want. Still, there's only 2-3% of the population that set goals. So your competition is so lousy. And this is one of the missions I have in life, to make people, this is my life mission, to make people understand what will happen when they start studying sales. That's what's going to stand on my tombstone when it says, he taught people how to sell. That's my life mission, because it changed my life completely. Everything I have gotten is just because I learned how to sell. And that starts with, I need a goal to want to be good in sales. So you need to choose your standard. Are you going to be one of the best in the world in this company? Or are you going to be one of the best in your country, or in your city, or in your home? I mean, if you don't choose, you will be one of the worst ones. That's for sure. And the 3%, I mean, this is if you write down your goals once a year. You're supposed to do it every day, of course. So the problem here is that your subconscious is about 70,000 times stronger than your conscious. So you will do stuff that is really bad for you, even if you know it. I mean, you have seen people smoking. I mean, it's on the package, you will die. And they said, okay. And you will lose today, it's at least 15 years. And people still do it. And this is so magic, because when I found this out like 30 years ago, I became a nerd, a geek on why people do what they do. And if you're in sales, this is money. If you know why people respond the way they do, why they act the way they do, well, then you can sell whatever you want to do. But the best salespeople don't sell whatever. They sell what people need, like this program. A great chance to make money, a great chance to control your world. But it starts with goal setting. If you don't want to be one of the best salespeople in the world, well, you won't. It's too much work. But if you want to, you can be one of the top ones in your country within a couple of months. That's how the competition is. It actually sucks. And this is why I love this. I had a business academy. I took kids that were about 18, 19, and I gave them for free. I didn't even charge money for it. I gave for a boot camp, but was about 10 to 15 hours a day for 10 weeks. And then the companies queued up. They queued up to employ them, the best companies that we have in Sweden, because there's a lack of great salespeople all over the world, especially now when it's like Corona, the COVID-19 and everything. People know that they need to sell. They need to make money. And so the salespeople, if you can get sales as a skill and combine it with whatever, if you're a carpenter and you can sell, well, you're worth more. If you're a nurse and you can sell, well, you're worth a lot more today. If you're a bookkeeper and you can sell, well, you're worth a lot more. So you can't choose. And this is one of the big things. You can't choose if you're going to be in sales or not. You are going to be in sales. The thing that you can choose between is, are you going to be really, really bad, or are you going to be great at this? And if you don't choose great, you are going to be bad. It's nothing in the between. It's not like you're a 7 on a scale from 1 to 10. If you don't choose how to be great, well, you're going to be a 1 or 2 at the most. And this is how it is. My job is so easy. Wherever I go, I can just put a book in the hands of the person and they will sell more if they just read it. Your subconscious will help you. But the thing here is that if you have that, you need to have a growth mindset. You need to believe and understand that if you study sales, you will sell more. And all over the world, there are people who says, well, no, either you have it or you don't. Either you're a salesperson or not. You're born with sales skills. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, if you're a little bit smart, you understand it's not even possible. I mean, you might have parents that are entrepreneurs and stuff like that, but it's a skill. The more you read, the more you practice, the better you're going to be. And you need to believe and understand that if you open a book every day, as they say on Harvard, you can't find a better university. If you just follow the science here, you're going to sell. You can't lose. I have had, during my 30 years with my own companies, I haven't had one person who didn't increase their sales dramatically that did what I told them to do. Because there's no secrets. You just need to follow the script. You need to follow the formula. There is a formula on how to do this. And that's my business today. I do online sales training. I've just launched a big program and so on. And I'm doing it international. I'm doing it in Sweden. And where I had one guy, listen to this. This is just crazy. He was the best salesperson in all Europe in his company, 300 salespeople, 24 years old, and he was the best one. He sold about 150% more than anybody else. He sold 3.5 times budget. And he thought he would know everything. I mean, he was the star. Everybody, on all the events, they put him on stage and said, whoa, he's the best, he's the best. And he got whatever he wanted to. And he was like, well, I know everything. And he started, when he saw my program, he watched some movies, and 3 days ago, he bought his mom a new brand new car with a pink band around it and everything. And he now sells 9 times budget. It's crazy. And I get this all the time. And that's not because I'm especially smart. It's because nobody studies sales. Everybody can do it. If I can do it, I'm a training product. As I said, I was so afraid of talking in front of people. I do it all over the world. I had so bad grades, I have 15 books. I didn't know anything about selling. Well, I had the best company in Sweden for 15 years. And I had the best one in UK when we were there. I had the best one in Denmark when I was there. The competition is lousy. So if you do and follow what you should do, it's pretty easy. And it's so easy. Just look at the best ones that just model them. What do they eat for breakfast? When do they come to work? How many people do they talk to every week? And do the same. How hard can it be? I mean, it's so easy, but the best ones are willingly to sacrifice something to reach their goals. They are willingly to do the work. I mean, they can be at the gym at 5 o'clock in the morning. They can start reading for an hour before they start working. And still there are grown-up people who say, well, I'm so sleepy in the morning. And I say, who cares? I mean, everybody is tired when they wake up. Some people, they go up and go to the gym or they start studying, and some people, they press the snoozer. I mean, just choose who you want to be with. And the thing is, if you have a growth mindset, you know what you're going to do because you need to study all the time. And since the research that says if you study sales, you read books, you watch movies and everything, well, you will increase your sales. You can't lose. And the thing is that you need to be a good storyteller. What is the benefit of buying this program, buying in sales? People go to work for a lot of different things than money. They have their mission. They sell themselves on something. Money is great. I love money, but I don't go to work for money. Money comes in when I do my work better than anybody else. So why do I go to work? Why do I buy this program? I want to help people. I get emails every day. People say, well, I doubled my sales, I tripled my sales, I did this and this. And it's like drugs for me, especially when some girl at 19, I got the email from a 17-year-old girl started working. And she was better, listen now, she was better than people who had been there for 20 years. That's my drug. I just love it because it happens all the time. People go to work, but they do exactly the same stuff that I've been doing for 20 years. You need to fill up every day. This is an everyday job. You need to study so much that you know exactly how to do everything. And then you have to keep studying so you can't do it wrong. It's like a football star, an ice hockey star, whatever. When they get the ball from one of their colleagues at the team, they don't stand as up, I have the ball now, what should I do? Because they have practiced so many times, so it takes like a 10th, 100th of a second, and then they do something. And that's what you do when you're good in sales. You practice so much, so you can't do wrong. Whatever decision you make, it's going to be the best, because you have practiced so many times. But you're competing with people who don't even practice at all. That's why the competition is so loud, why it's so easy to be good in sales. Everyone says, well, it's so tough. Oh, the competition is so hard. They flash the result on walls and everything. I mean, it's the best job ever. It pays the best, it gives you the best opportunities, and nobody practice. I mean, it can't be better. So, one thing that great salespeople are, they are so positive that you can get really sick at them. Whatever happens, they say, well, I'm going to learn something. They got a parking ticket. They say, well, they park their car, they get a parking ticket, and they get the ticket and says, wow, great, now I knew how to park in a better way. And you think they're crazy, but they're fun to be with, and they give you energy all the time. They're easy to like. And this is not like, well, some people are not and some people are. You can practice. In a sales conversation that you talk with somebody, you can practice everything. You can write it down and you can practice. But most people, they never write it down. The best salespeople are great at analyzing themselves. And it's so easy today. When I started out, if you wanted to study, you had to pay about $500, 500 euros to watch one video clip. If you go out on YouTube, you see a video clip, 5 minutes. I had to pay 500 euro to watch it. And I got to rent it for about 24 hours. Then I had to give it back. So, I mean, today there are no excuses. I mean, it's all out there, but people still don't use it because they don't have a goal. And if I don't have a goal to be great in sales, why should I watch the great ones in sales? So you need to be goal-oriented. You need to remind yourself every day why you do the work, and you need to know how. And people say, well, I've heard it. Well, I have some goals. It's 10 times better to write down the goal than have it in your head. You can't do too much. So, I mean, there's a whole science between how to do this. But still, when I got to companies, I do it all the time, all over the world, people don't write down the goals. I had Google's best salespeople in Europe. I mean, they are so smart and they earn so much money, but they don't write down the goals. Now they do. I mean, even the best doesn't do it. It's like acting like you're going to win the world championship in a sport. Just take their behavior. Focus on the behavior. What they do is that they practice on the same stuff every day for 10, 15 years to become an Olympian or going to the world championship. If you talk to somebody in sales, they say, well, I've heard that before. Who cares? Are you a master at this? Are you world champion standard? No, I've heard about it. And some people in my age, I've been in sales 50 years, 40 years, 30 years. I know everything. Well, show me your bank account. Do you have proof? And then they get pretty quiet. You need to be tough against those guys because they're talkers. And when you're in sales, we look at results. And one thing, I mean, number one, you need to have goals and you need to be so goal focused so people around you should really don't like you because of it, because you want too much. Second is that you need to read a lot. You need to get everything, all the information again and again and again, so you can't do stuff wrong. But you also need to be a good analyzer, a great analyzer on what you're doing correctly and what you're doing bad. So when you speak to somebody, when you make a telephone call to somebody, today it's so easy. I mean, you can take your telephone and you can rehearse your presentation and you can watch how you like. You know, when you see me the first time, most of you guys saw me for the first time. It took you less than 1 second to decide if you were going to trust me. And I put on my best clothes there, so I should look really good here. But less than 1 second. It took you about 3 to 4 seconds to decide if you were going to like me. 3, 4 seconds. You can lose the sale by just showing up. And people are going to watch you and say, sorry, no, thank you. So you need to practice. The communication, when you see me like this, about 90% is how I look and how I sound. And if you're calling somebody, then it's about 90%, 95% on how you sound. Most people in sales never listen to themselves. And this is an everyday job. There is no chance in life that you will sell as much as you can do if you don't listen to how you sound when you're talking to a customer and you do it every day. It takes you about 5 minutes. How hard can it be? It's not like you're going to change your whole life. 5 to 10 minutes. Just listening to your presentation when you book a meeting, when you talk to somebody. And most people, they do it when they're in sales, when sales is the real profession. This is what they do every day. It's like they got sales guy tattooed in their forehead. They don't do it. I had people crying. I had people cursing me. And this is what they do every day. But they don't want to listen to themselves. So what they do is they don't record themselves. They just, because they think it sounds so terrible. It's like when you're taking your telephone and you're recording what you're going to say, your answering machine maybe, and you change it and you change it and you change it because it doesn't sound really good. Well, surprise, when you talk to your customers, when it doesn't sound good and you stop doing it, it doesn't get better. So if you don't hear it, your customers, the people that you're going to sell to, they're still going to hear it, and they're still not going to like it. So if you don't like it, if you don't listen to yourself, and then you don't think that you're the best, well, no one else will either. So don't let your customer listen to it if you don't even like it yourself. This is so easy. Let's take a football coach, a baseball coach, a rugby coach, and they get paid millions to coach their teams. The thing they do 5 minutes after the game is that they're going to watch the game again to see what actually happened. And they can get paid like 5-10 million euros, $5-10 million and more just to coach the team. That's what they're paid for. Somebody gets hurt and they have to change the player, they have to change the system, somebody scores a goal and it's not them, so they have to change the game. They are paid to coach the team, and still they can't analyze themselves when they're playing. So we can't analyze ourselves when we're talking to people. Our brain doesn't work that way. So you need to record yourself and you need to listen to yourself. And the best salespeople, they do it all the time. They need to, because this is how you know what you're going to change. Because when you see yourself or you listen to yourself and you hear yourself saying things that isn't that smart, and you might have some tics and you don't ask the questions, this single thing in a sales conversation is the one that is the most important, is what questions are you asking? If you don't ask any questions, people won't like you. And as I said, we need to be likable. And the best salespeople, they are great at asking questions. And the most important one is the thing that most people don't do at all, is the follow-up questions. When you ask a question, you ask somebody, how are you? Well, I'm great. And then you start talking about what you're selling, well, you lose that person. So when you ask a question, you can practice this everywhere. You can practice this with your husband, with your wife, with your kids. You ask them, how was your day today? And they say, great, or nah, nothing. Okay, what happened? Keep asking questions, because that's how they know that you like them, because you are interested and you're showing them that you care. And customers buys from people who cares about them. And if you'd just ask a question and then you start talking about yourself, well, I'm stopping. I'm not listening anymore. And I know that you don't actually care. And that will come, I actually don't trust you. And if I don't trust you, I don't like you, I won't buy. So the worst thing you can do is just talk about what you're selling. You are going to talk about the most important person, and that's the customer. It's not you, it's not your product, it's what your product means for the customer. If I'm buying into this system, Crowd1, I know I will get more time for myself. I will control my life. I can get more time for my kids. I can go on that great vacation. I will meet new friends. I will grow as a person. There's so many benefits here. But what people do when they're not in sales, and if you do, the best ones, they only talk benefits, because that's what people are buying. But what salespeople, 99%, they talk features. They talk about what the product you are, how it looks, what it says. But what I'm buying is what it means for me, and I'm special. You're special. So I need to ask questions first to realize what is the most important for you. And if you don't ask any questions, you're going to get the same presentation as everybody, and it will be as bad for you as for everybody else. You need to have all the features, but you have to make them for me. What does it mean for me? Because I might buy this just because I get more time for myself. I can meet my kids more. I can control my life. I can earn more money. It's a great way, but that's usually not the top one. And the best salespeople, they know that. We love money, and it can buy us a lot of fun stuff, but it's so much more. And if you just talk money, I have this friend, and he wants to sells so much to me all the time. And he always says, Mike, you can make so much money. You can make so much money. But that's not my number one drive. I love money. I have my companies. I've sold companies. I've built companies. I start new products to earn money. But my drive is to help people. And that's the reason why I make money. So if he should come to me and say, Michael, I can help you. I can make you help millions of people. Well, I will listen. But he always says, well, I can make you make millions. Well, I can do it myself. So you need to know what that person ticks on. And the only way is to ask questions. And people don't ask questions. They ask what I call alibi questions. They ask one or two, and then they get bored about it because they don't actually really care. And then they start selling. And that's the reason why they don't sell. I mean, I sell all the time. I have business meetings every day, calls or meetings. And I talk about my kids. I talk about my son, who was my biggest sales challenge for years, because my daughters, they are in business. My son, he's in music. He's a producer. And the thing is, he didn't like school. I didn't like school that much either, but he actually didn't like school. And he was almost going to be a dropout. So I had to sell to make him listen to the teachers, do the homework. But he was only, when I said, well, there's a test on Thursday, and today it's Tuesday. You need to open the books. And he said, calm down, Dad, calm down. There's going to be new tests. And I was just, ugh. But that was the same sales situation as if I go to a customer. And he is as focused, but his prior is just music, music, music. He works like 18 hours a day with it. And it's going to be the new Avicii, he thinks. And the thing is, you can do whatever you want to, but you need to sell all the time. So you need to sell the benefit. If I would sell him, I would talk about how he can get a better chance of being great as a musician. He doesn't care about the money. He cares about standing on big stages. And if I can put him there, he will do the work. Somebody likes the money. Somebody likes the cars. Somebody likes to flash and be the best ones. Well, that's when you're going to sell them. But you can't give the same stuff to everybody because it won't suit them. And you need to find out. And the questions will make people like you, because that's what we do with the people that we like. We ask them questions because we are interested in what they think, what they like. And if you don't care, they won't care about us. So what we do is that we are focusing on behavior. When you want to be great in sales, focus on what you can do yourself. You don't need to focus on Corona. You don't need to focus on it's a bad economy. You have the worst government, whatever problem there is. Focus on what you can do. And you can always read about selling. You can always talk to customers. And the thing is, when we talk to customers, we need to be good closers. I mean, my company it's called Closers Only. That's the people I work with. And that's my brand. My company is Department of Awesome. So that's what we're doing. And the thing here, when you need to be great at closing, today, listen to this because this is crazy. We as salespeople, we meet a lot of people, and the research says when we meet a customer, we can drive to them, we can go to the meetings, we can be preparing everything. 63% will not even ask if the person will buy. So we do a lot of work and we don't even ask the person if they're going to buy. 63%. So you want to be in the 10% club. 10% of the people ask enough with times so the customer will buy. And today, it used to be that you need to ask 5 times before the customer buys. In 90% of the cases. So you need to be a great closer. Close the customer and ask them if they want to buy. And it's not like, are you going to buy? No. Are you going to buy? No. Are you going to buy? No. Because then they will just throw us out. You need to be able to ask the customer if they're going to buy at least 5 times to be able to be in the 10% who shares 90% of all the money. And 90% of all the salespeople, they share 10% of the money. Today, it's tougher. You need to be able to ask 7 to 12 times to make a sell. And most people don't even ask. More than half don't ask at all. So, I mean, this is so easy. You just need to do the work. And then you need to practice, because you can't ask. If you're not asking once today, I mean, you won't go from 1 to 7. You go from 0 to 1, from 1 to 2, from 2 to 3. And most people that doesn't answer, the people that don't ask for the order, they usually think that they have. So if you listen to yourself and you don't even know what a buying signal is, and you don't know when to ask, I mean, if you hear yourself not asking, and then you listen to yourself tomorrow again and you don't ask, and then you listen to yourself on Friday and you don't ask, after a couple of weeks, you're going to get sick of it. And your subconscious will make you ask. And that's the reason why you record yourself, you listen to yourself, because you make your subconscious work for you. When you don't ask questions, follow-up questions, and you know that you should, and you get to hear this day after day after day, your subconscious will make you do it. So the thing here is, if you study sales and then you analyze what you're doing and you realize that you are doing most of the things in the wrong way, your subconscious will help you. So the unique way of, when I'm training salespeople, I work as much with the mental training as with athletes and everything, because you need to, people says no to you all day long, and you need to be able to handle that and still go on. If I sell to 3-4 people a day and 25-30 says no, it's a success. Most people can't handle it. 80% of all salespeople that work with sales, that has sales as an occupation, that starts out, 80% stops the first year. They can't handle it, and they never come back to sales again. Best profession that you can ever have. You don't need to go to university. You can have my background, being grown up in the poorest place, afraid of everything, dad dying, and you become a success, because sales, everybody can, because the competition sucks. I mean, this is just the best. So I mean, this program and everything, everybody that wants to can be a success. Start writing down your goals. Read a lot about sales. There is a formula on how to succeed, but you need to do the work. And the reason why you need to do the work, why you are doing the work, is that you have a goal. If you know that some close to you would die if you weren't studying in sales, you would. So you just need a big why you're going to do the work. And that's different for everyone. So when I started training my people, I thought, well, my profession was to help people reach their goals. But I realized they don't have any goals. So I had to teach them how to set goals. And this is so strange, because now I'm traveling all over the world teaching people how to set goals. And that was not the thing that I was going to do. I teach people how to sell, but I never talk about selling if I can't talk about goal setting first. And I'm working with the biggest companies, with small companies, with private people, and everybody. It's crazy. People are reaching their goals all the time just because they know what they're going to do. And it's not like, oh, I know something. I write down my goals every day. I have this. This is the goal book. I buy the most expensive book I can. And this is where I have my goals. And I write my top 10 list every day. And it reminds me why I go to work. That's why this is my office. This is the reason why I do it. And I take a book and write the same 10 goals every day. And it's no secret. My first goal is health. I mean, my dad died early. My brother died early. I want to live. I want to be fit. So that's my first goal. My second goal is I want a great relation. I don't hold my thumbs and hope that my relation will be good. I work for it. My third is the best with my kids. I want to have the best relation. That's my 3 top goals. Then money comes and company comes, and that changes all the time. But people says, well, you don't need to set goals because it happens so much stuff, so you can't really know what's going to happen. No, but that's not the reason why not to set them. So you will reach your goals, and you will reach so much more goals than you ever believed if you are there to set them. And you need to write them down and remind yourself. You program yourself to reach your goal. That's what it's about. It's so much research out there, and all athletes, if you want to, some people are going to be in the Olympics next year, if it's going to be one, they started believing, seeing this like 10, 15 years ago. And that's how you're going to work when you work with sales. It's easy. There's a formula out there. My daughter, she's a boxer as well, and she went to this guy who is one of the best in the world, and he used to be one of the best in the world. And she just starts, what are you eating for breakfast? When do you wake up? What exercises do you do in the gym? It's just to model one of the best one in the world. I mean, it can't be really bad then if you do exactly what the best ones are doing. So one of the good things when you go into sales, look up one of the good ones, like in this company that are really earning a lot of money today. And then you pay the most expensive lunch you can find and just pick their brains. What are you eating for breakfast? When do you wake up? How many people do you talk to every day? I mean, it's the most inexpensive way to get success. And that's what everybody does that knows what to. They check out the best one, the second best one, the third best one. You can even buy them a trip. It's worth the money because they have a formula on how to succeed. And that's what the best ones does. So if I'm going to leave you with 3 tips, and there's so many. I mean, sales is like a big puzzle. Thousands of small pieces, and you will never get this perfect. But you will work on a lot of different. I live after a formula called massive action. Sometimes people say, well, you should do this and do it good. No, I do everything at the same time. I read more than everybody else. I go to the gym every day, 7 days a week. I read more than everybody else. I go to the most seminars all over the world. And I've been doing this for 30 years. My wife thinks I'm crazy. I'm taking a bath and I'm coming home and I'm taking some books about sales into the bath. And they say, you don't have a life. But I'm a geek, I'm a nerd. And it's the nerd's time now. Because you can't keep up if you're not a nerd. Because you need to practice all the time if you want to be the best. And most people, as I said, they don't even choose. So number 1, you need to choose your goals. You need to be a master on how to set goals. You don't just need to know about it. You need to be the best on how to do it. Do you visualize them every day? Do you meditate on them? Your morning routine? Do you have a thankful exercise every morning so you're thankful for what you're having in life? Because when you're thankful, you can't be worried. You can't be angry. And that's not a good way to start a day otherwise. You don't fill yourself with watching TV and see some people dying, or it's a volcano or whatever. You fill yourself with the good stuff. The best speakers in the world. That's what you want. The first thing that you wake up in the morning, you meditate on your goals, you make your morning routine work for you. Most people, they put on the telly and they see somebody dying and there's corona and there's crazy, and that's how they start their morning. It's crazy. So what you do, number 1, prioritize, set your goals. Set your goals, and it's no excuse. If you don't write down your goals, you will never get as successful as the people who does. It will not happen. Number 2, you fill yourself up with good stuff about business, sales, and since I'm in sales, there's so much more you can learn, but I'm in sales. So you read about sales, and the least you do is 30 minutes a day. I mean, you can watch the best speakers in the world, you can read books or whatever, you can fill yourself up with good stuff. If you don't have the time, well, wake up earlier, go to bed later. There's no excuse. So goal setting, and then you analyze. You record a meeting, a telephone call every day. If you do that, you fill yourself up with how to do it from the best people in the world, and then you compare to what you're doing. And if you're doing this every day, your subconscious will start working for you instead of against you. I mean, people take their lives by smoking, drugging, whatever, and they still know about it. Make that force work for you, not against you. I have never had one person follow my rules, follow my tips, and not succeeding. It's not has never happened. So I'm just giving you do it, not ask. Just the best ones, what they do is they test. They test it and then they say, well, I didn't like it, and they never do it. The mediocre ones, they say, well, I've heard it before. So it's your choice. Thank you.
Amazing, Michael. I have been on a lot of training sessions, and my father was the number one of Marabou ships Estrella. So he gave me very early in life, when I was 13, 14, a book with Lars Unestål, to be best when you have to be the best.
And I'm going to meet him in a couple of weeks.
Amazing, amazing. So normally I also take notes, but this time today I was really excited because I told the people before that when it comes to selling, it's actually one of the most important parts. I was really avoiding sales because my father was working 8 days a week, and that's a little bit what you said. Yeah, working ethics, I realize it's called today, and he told me one thing, that the good salesperson can always be number one at any time when he takes the product. And you really confirmed it today, Michael, with these things. And I can also say that when I'm asking people in and around the world what they would do if they had 10 or 30,000 euro, and most of the people, they don't even know what to do because they don't have the written down goals, and they will be like law of attraction. So big thank you. I think namaste from the Nepalian people. We had so many great comments on the call today, and a true pleasure to have you here, and true inspiration.
For having me. Thank you.
So Lotta, who introduced you, Michael, I'm truly honored to you, Lotta, for this pleasure of having Michael here. So Lotta, are you
I'm here.
Yes, of course. I thought you went for a coffee. No.
So thank you so much, Michael. I take so much notes, and as I said, I have listened to you before. That was the reason why I really wanted to have you here today. And I also know that exactly what you say. If you do the things that you are telling, I know so many people that has been trained from you and have super great results.
Oh yeah.
So, but it's now comes the thing that you was saying. It's one thing to hear all of this, but now it's up to each and one of us to really apply it also. But I also know that we have, I don't know, Björn, should we release it now?
Yeah, I think we should release it now. And we have 600 people here on the call. And I learned one thing, that like you said, Michael, get up early, work longer. If you stay on the call, you get this information. And what I understand from you, Michael, is that there will be 10 lucky winners. And I'm going to be one of those who fights for it. And Lotta as well, because 10 lucky people will get the amazing opportunity to get coached and trained by Mikael Arndt himself. Can you imagine what that will mean for you guys? He said that this is an opportunity to become one of the 10% in the world who makes whatever you want in life. And the competition will actually start from when we have the mixed program coming, because this is about sales. And to be trained by Mikael, you have to show your, I don't know if it's called 4 feet, but it cannot be the front feet in this business. So the people who do the best result and to introduce the most number of mixer people on this call here. We have all the people here on the call now, and this one is recorded. So we're going to follow up on that one after. And what do we say? By the end of this month, Lotta? Is that a good day?
We said the first one to have 30.
The first one who have.
First 10 ones to have 30 registered.
Yes. If you have 30 registered people in Mixter front lines, then you will take contact with me or with Lotta or with Rakesh, and you have to what? Screenshot, no fake shot, no nothing. It has to be pure screenshot, no Photoshop. We will find it out and you will be big time punished for that one. So 30 people and get on it. I know that Angelo Black will do it, power of easy. So that's going to be amazing. And I think that's a good thing to show. Get ready, get a good start and run for it, because that's what it's all about. And I really love the thing that ask the questions. Too many people are selling their own dream instead of asking what is your dream, because they already know what they want, and you and I, we need to find it out. So big thank you. I want to hear from some people here. I know Rakesh, we have a gentleman all the way from, he's not from Singapore, but he doesn't even look like from Singapore, but he is from Norway, and he is definitely on the edge now. Mr. Rune.
Oh, yes, I'm here. I'm not going to touch base on it this time, but I said it last time. And I know that Mikael can look himself in the mirror and Björn can take off his caps. Success leaves clues. It happens again and again. We bring speakers on here and they're so fantastic, but that's more of a male thing. Something must have happened along the way. We all seem to lose our hair when we love sex.
The more success we get.
Yeah, I mean, it's built for speeds. It's fractionless, and it's just we can go faster. So that's the way it is. Now, I said it 2 days ago on this call, and that Mikael sort of repeated it and reinstated it when I said that. Good is when you have practiced enough that you know how to do it right. But excellence is when you have practiced enough that you can't do it wrong. And Mikael emphasized that in his training also, that is when you are really superb at something, when you don't know how to make it wrong. Because it is in your subconsciousness, it is in there, you do the right questions, you know when to listen to the buying signals, because it is not like you are asking, do you want to buy? And then there is a yes. During the conversation, the other party, some people, they talk and talk forever, even though the other party have actually said yes 3-4 times. And they end up the conversation by booking the next meeting without actually closing the sales. And the customer is sitting there and wondering, what happened? I wanted to buy it. Where did he go? So it is the skills of listening, but also asking the question. So it was brilliant training. I absolutely loved it. Thank you very much, Lotta and Björn, for bringing Mikael on board. Thank you very much, Mikael. Appreciate it. It's amazing.
Fantastic. And we have actually people from South Africa here also, Mikael. I think there is mostly more than 100 different countries, people coming in here on these calls. And we have another gentleman who took the bullets by its horns. I think it's so bad when I try to translate into English, but Angelo Black, you know what I mean. Don't cut any fingers more. Just get on. How did you like this one now?
Oh, I love this. I love this. Mikael, you hit the nail on the head. You know, this with everything that you said, I respect you, my brother. Right, let me just take my sling off here, you know, so people don't have to see that I'm injured at the moment. But you know, and what you were talking about, you know, with people overselling and stuff like that was insane. Bjorn was on a call this afternoon and he asked us, what are we reading? What are we doing to educate ourselves, you know, especially in sales? And I've got this book.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've read this book.
Yeah, I got it.
You got it.
Yeah,
you know, sales dogs, you know, when you're selling, you've got to know what type of person you are, because not all of us are bulldogs. Not all of us are, some of us are chihuahuas. You know, we've got that, you know, some of us are soft-voiced. Some of us are, we go into sale, no. But you've got to understand what type of person you are as well. And I'm loving it. I'm loving Bjorn. So Bjorn, thank you for these training sessions. It's to educate our people. And Mikael, you know, Ms. Lotta, Rakesh, I love what you guys are doing. So Rune, you know, you're one of my top dogs up there. You know, even with your sunglasses, I don't know how dark it is there where you are right now. But You know, thank you so much for what you are doing for our people. And this is what you need to do to become the best in the world. You've got to educate yourself. To earn, you have to learn. You can't stay in your comfort zone and expect things to change. Get out of your comfort zone. Become uncomfortable to become comfortable. And I'm going to leave you with that, you know, because where I was, and Bjorn can attest to this, you know, when we did not have food and we joined this this product, what it's done for me, we've got a couple of months left, it's 90 days. But I can tell you this Christmas, with what's happening now in our company, you see this being launched, this thing here, mixture, every one of you on this call can have the best Christmas of your life. But you've got to believe it here. You've got to believe that this product, without even showing anybody, without even, you've got to think it out there. Think it when you're showing this, when you're showing people. Think and believe in here that this is going to change your life. God bless. Thank you so much for having me on the call, Bjorn.
Thank you very much, Mr. Angelo Black. And this is what we are dealing with, Michael. Here we have people who are really hungry for learning. We have people who are hungry for the success. And I think that if you were on the call here tonight, you got it. We are not going to hold you long. Rakesh, I want you to round up this one. And once again, Michael, big thank you from the heart, from me and all the people that's been here today. Rakesh, the stage is yours.
Yes, thank you, Bjorn. And honestly, this is such an amazing training. And I really want to thank Michael for your beautiful training. You know, it was honestly, like, you know, mind-blowing, and we could actually see so many comments there on the chat, and everyone is actually thanking you. So it was absolutely our honor and privilege to have you on this amazing training. So you have added so much value to the entire team, I would probably say the entire world right now. So I want to actually leave the entire world with this amazing quote, which I have heard from so many amazing leaders. And whatever we are actually witnessing today is definitely going to change your life for good. It will always help you to boost up your knowledge and confidence, and you will always grow further and further. So the course goes like this. You know, now you have learned so much. Now you are so much pumped and motivated. But understand this, guys. Motivation without direction leads to frustration. By the same token, motivation with direction leads to success. Now you are all motivated. Now you are probably perplexed. You don't know what to do next. So all you have to do now is seek an advice from your upline, from leaders like Michael, you know, Bjorn, Lotta, Angelo Black, Rune, everybody out there. They are your mentor. They are your leader. Seek an advice from them and learn. Look, they are successful because they have done some incredible job in their journey, and they can actually show you the path. All you have to do is follow the guidance, and that's how you grow. You don't have to go out there and reinvent another wheel again. It's already done and dusted. All you have to do, just follow the path and get on with it. You are already on this Crowd1 amazing vehicle. All you have to do, get on with it and go with the flow. That's how you actually become successful, guys. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, everybody, for being on this call today. And honestly, from Bjorn's side, Lotta, myself, Neeraj, and everybody, to a big thanks to Michael. What a blessing. Thank you for adding so much value to our business. Thank you so much.
Thank you for that one. Let's set some goals. Make sure that you write them down. 8 to 10 times more chance to make them. So if you want to have them, get them written down. Thank you, everyone, and over and out.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Namaste.